I'm very honored to be here to accept this award from my customers, my students. And I think it's appropriate to tell you a story because the first award I ever got in a teaching career was one that was given to me by the Tau Beta Pi chapter at the University of California in Berkeley. And the reason I got the award is for writing this book. And this was published and used as a laboratory manual, both in engineering and in physics. I got a telephone call one day from Mr. Jess Hay, who was a member of our Board of Regents at the time, and they wanted to know if I would like to come to Texas and be chancellor of the University of Texas system. After, a few interviews and conversations and so on, the job was offered, and I came here.
So what are a couple of the most important contributions you've made to the University of Texas during your time as the chancellor of the UT system?
I think there are two. The first one was to encourage people I had worked with in California, for example, in Silicon Valley, and elsewhere in the technological industry, to come to Austin. We would establish here something of the same thing that exists at MIT and the Boston area and that exists in Silicon Valley. MCC was oriented toward computers and wound up being a software house and spawned many of the industries that we now have here in town. Sematech was a consortium of all the large electronics companies, and the idea was to establish methods for competing with our foreign competitors. The other thing was that it was obvious when I got here that we had to do something to take care of the demographics that were clearly coming. We essentially created the University of Texas at Brownsville with the help of the local community. I would have never been able to even think about that if it weren't for the people in the local community who gave us guidance. And these are flourishing institutions now. But I think those are the two things that I would look back on to say that had impact and permanence. Neither one is going to go away.
What sort of research experience were you able to do at the University of Texas?
Development laboratory that we set up here for the Navy to develop electromagnetic guns. And the ships that will carry these guns are just being built in Maine at the shipyard there. And the Navy has set up a large development organization at the Naval Surface Warfare Center at Dahlgren.
So I've personally had the honor of taking a couple of your courses that you've taught at the University of Texas. So why did you start the freshman course, and how did that course develop into what it is today?
I resigned as chancellor because I felt that 8 years is a good time to go. I have to put it on the record that I wasn't fired. Since I had been out of it for a while, I volunteered to develop and teach a freshman course in the Department of Aerospace Engineering and Engineering Mechanics. We really didn't have one, and so we developed this course, and I've been doing it now ever since 1992, about 20 years. I also teach a seminar course on the Cold War. I lived through it, so that was an obvious thing to do. I had my office in Washington, So there were stories to tell. I used to tell them in the freshman course too, I think. And from now on, I've been allowed to keep my office, so I'm not going to go away. And the most important thing is that they'll give me a parking sticker. So I'll be able to continue to come here. Thank you very much.